What is the scariest, most terrifying thing that actually exists? Hydrocephalus dementia is a way of losing a person twice, once to the illness, and once to death. My mom, one of the most brilliant people I have had the honor of knowing, had hydrocephalus dementia. She was fully aware of her condition, and fought it close to the end, when she finally lost the ability to swallow. It is a hard way to go. Couples or any pair of people who commit hideous crimes together. How much trust must you have in someone to confide this desire? Hey Jane, what do you say we abduct and kill a stranger today? Oh sure Richard, it will be our little secret. The idea that the sickest can find each other like this scares the living shit out of me. The fact that everything in this thread exists in the same world. Which one will get me? I don't know. Being attacked by a great white seems pretty terrifying. I was paddling around on a skimboard for scientific purposes one time and saw a large dark shape pass under me from left to right. I literally screamed like I was in a horror movie. Turned out to be a sharkly shaped section of reef that the current was carrying me over. At the moment though, it was still top 3-4 scariest moments of my life. Drifting away from a space station with no way to get back. The fact that I'm allowed to structurally weld bridges which hold thousands of cars a day. I'm looking at you Dayton. Granted none of my welds have failed a test, and I put forth my best effort every time. But still, if one decides to fail. Yay, that's a scary concept. The fact that you can be paralyzed and unable to move any part of the body while your mind remains completely intact. Anesthesia awareness. You go into the hospital for surgery and you are paralyzed and awake during the entire procedure. Unable to scream, move, or indicate in any way that you are locked in. The trust in others that everyone has every day when they drive. While driving from point A to B, every car you pass, or that pass you could easily kill you with a wrong turn of the wheel or loss of control. Especially when it's something the driver can't help, like a seizure. Honey, sit down. We need to talk. Nothing good comes after that. Nothing. Hippopotamus. They can weigh about 2 tons and achieve speeds of 20 miles per hour on land. Their bite can easily kill, and they are extremely territorial. More deaths occur per year by hippos than lions, wolves, elephants, and sharks combined. Antibiotic resistant bacteria. I had what I thought was a minor infection in my foot. Got her antibiotic recipe. A week later I'm getting pumped with 4th vancomycin. Apparently it was just a nasty staph strain. Don't shoot drugs kids. It's especially awkward when you tell the frustrated nurse I'll do it and proceed to start your own 4th after she failed on 4 attempts. Cordyceps lethal mind control fungus. It only infects ants, as far as we know, but it's straight out of a horror movie. Infected ants compulsively climb as high as they can, and then clamp their jaws down. Then a stalk grows out the top of their head and releases spores that infect more ants. The Last of Us infection is based on it. Edit, correction. It affects lots of types of insects. I only remembered the ants initially. Also, at least with Alzheimer's, the patient usually doesn't really know what's going on. With ALS, the patient has minimal mental impairment and is trapped in a non-functioning body. My cousin's wife suffered from and passed due to ALS. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Large rocks minding their own business in space that might run into our planet and end everything someday. People that kill without a conscience or reason. You could be in the wrong place at the wrong time or even just asleep in your home, and someone could pick you for no reason at all other than opportunity. Pretty sure there was a post on Morbid Reality last week about someone who hired a hitman to kill a woman so she could date her boyfriend, but the hitman got the wrong person and then killed her anyway. Imagine literally dying because some loony wants to date someone else's boyfriend. God, I would haunt the shit out of those duckers. Besides the normal things that most people think of, I'm going to throw deep sea fish out there. Have you seen how terrifying some of them beaches are? I would say cancer, or the fact that anyone at any point could just drop dead from a brain aneurysm. The FBI estimates there are anywhere between 25 to 50 active serial killers in the US at this very moment. It could be your coworker, your friend, your neighbor, your server, or that friendly older gentleman living by himself. You'll probably never know unless you fall under their victim type. Your basement when you turn off all the lights and have to run up the stairs. I still sprint up the stairs when I go to my parents, and I'm the last one up from the basement. I have an agreement with the creatures in the basement. When I turn the lights out, they can have me after 15 seconds. I usually am out until I learned that one when I was little, and it helped back when I was really afraid of the dark. I'm not as bad now, but I still get antsy sometimes. Space scares the shit out of me, and how much we don't know about the ocean, like anything could be down there. Sleep paralysis is definitely up there. You can't move, but there's something in your room lurking about, and your heart is racing, and you can't process what's going on. I find the best way to get out of sleep paralysis is to focus on accomplishing a very small movement like bending a toe or a finger. It is frustrating as duck, but eventually it works. Prions. They're basically screwed up proteins that make other proteins get screwed up the same way, like some sort of molecular zombie. Once you have a prion disease, it will slowly destroy your brain by messing up proteins that are vital for life. Once you have it, there's no cure and no treatment. You're just done for. And it can incubate for years. You can have it right now and not know. And as a fun little bonus, disinfectants and other methods of killing viruses, parasites, and bacteria will do nothing for a prion. Fatal familial insomnia is possibly the freakiest prion disease. You just can't sleep. You get progressively worse insomnia until you can't sleep at all anymore, which causes delirium, hallucinations, and eventually death. Imagine just knowing your mind is slowly slipping away, all because your body won't sleep. That is a prion disease. The supervolcano in Yellowstone, Wyoming, that if it explodes, would make 13 of North America instantly uninhabitable, and we would have to evacuate the rest. It would also create a volcanic winter for the whole planet for a couple of years. Fun fact, Yellowstone is caused by a hotspot under the Earth's crust and has been erupting regularly from a geological standpoint for the past 20 million years at least, and has formed the entire Snake River Plain and then some. This includes Yellowstone National Park, Craters of the Moon National Monument, which I really want to see, and the Columbia River flood basalts. This hotspot is why the geology and geography of the Northwest United States and parts of southern Canada are so cool. If the Yellowstone caldera does erupt, it would probably be a smaller eruption. Even a small eruption from Yellowstone could still be quite devastating, but it wouldn't have catastrophic consequences. An eruption is incredibly unlikely, but a gigantic one is even less so. Deep vein thrombosis. It can happen from really mundane things like sitting down on an airplane for a while, and even though it's rare for that, it's going to happen to someone. It can quickly cause a pulmonary embolism or an aneurysm, killing you dead on the spot, and the symptoms can range from swelling or pain in the leg to nothing at all. That's terrifying to me, and it makes my legs squirm thinking about it. Edit, not a doctor, just what I've read on Google and what I've surmised from that. Serial killers. These people are basically different kinds of humans who can blend in with us, but are out to kill us. Most people think of the creep or whatever, but the scariest things about serial killers is that a lot of them are really charming and master manipulators. A lot of them look at you as nothing more than prey, and the others are just so unhinged they kill indiscriminately. Also giving a shout out to Last Podcast on the Left. Great serial killer podcast. They do other things like conspiracy theories, alien related shit, and the paranormal. They're funny as duck too. Listen to their Pee Wee Gaskins series of episodes. The worst part of this is the more people they kill, the better they become at it. There are probably serial killers out there with over a 100 body count, and they've become so good at disposing bodies or picking victims that will not be missed or recognized by anybody. I hear 3 pigs can eat an entire human body like nothing, bones and all. The fact that our entire planet, all of human history, the billions of years of life as we know it, could be randomly blown out of existence by a rock flying aimlessly through space, and there's nothing we could do about it. That just about everything we do on the internet is logged and can be looked at by someone at any time. Don't get me wrong, I don't really do anything that dodgy online, but I still find it incredibly scary that our lives are mostly online now and nothing is private. Prior to the onset, I probably would have answered this question with any number of hundreds of cliched answers, but the correct answer is dementia. Fibrodysplasia ossificans progressia, it's a super rare, uncurable disease. Basically, instead of your muscles and tissue healing itself, your body turns it into bone mass. Alligators, plain and simple. Archer covers this perfectly. From season 5 episode 8 Supervolcanoes, why are you so afraid of crocodiles? Sterling Archer, gee, I don't know, Cyril. Maybe deep down, I'm afraid of any apex predator that lived through the night extinction. Cyril Figgis, the Sterling Archer, physically unchanged for 100 million years, because it's the perfect killing machine. A half-ton of cold-blooded fury with a bite force of 20,000 newtons and a stomach acid so strong it can dissolve bones and hooves. And now we are surrounded. Those snake eyes are watching from the shadows waiting for the night. Anal fissures. It's like pooping razor blades. The worst is that it re-tears every time you go. In chronic situations that don't heal, docs actually snip the fissures fibers. One of the worst situations of my life, and definitely the most painful. I'll never forget the doctor telling my wife and I, "Oh yeah, this is going to get more painful than childbirth," and my wife's eyes widening and saying, "Your duct." Edit. This can happen to anyone, anywhere. It just happens. Black holes are bad enough, but did you know some of them move around at 5 million km/h? Well, luckily, the sheer size and the emptiness of the universe work in our favor. But one could be coming for us right now, and we can't do anything about it. Not send a bunch of miners on a rocket, or fire off all the nukes on Earth. Nothing. The fact that everything that makes us who we think we are is nothing more than chemical reactions and electric signals. Sinkholes. At any moment the earth could swallow you whole. Existence. Like, why does everything exist? Was there eternal nothing before something existed? Or has existence always existed? And if existence always existed, does that mean it will always continue to exist? Or will existence stop existing for eternity? I know I'll stop existing at some point. But if existence exists forever, then why should I expect my existence to stop forever? I mean, I wouldn't mind if my memories were erased and I became some other form of existence. But if this is true, has this cycle been repeating forever and will continue to repeat forever? Like Sheet Man. Forever is a long time. The dementia Alzheimer's stuff is crazy. This year my sister and I discovered our father, only 58 years old, was responding to internet scams and sending large amounts of his money overseas to strangers, more than $25,000. This was shocking, because we have never seen any behaviors like this. We took him to the doctor and they discovered a shrinkage of the brain and diagnosed him with dementia. He was a really sharp business executive my entire life, and now he is having trouble getting a job as cashier anywhere. I feel so bad, but there isn't much we can do but love and support him. Anyone else go through something similar? Never seen one, but I'd imagine sun spiders, aka camel spiders. Imagine a spider and a scorpion had a love child and bam, instant horror.